Hey everyone, welcome back to our virtual Wilson classroom. Let's go ahead and get started here. This is for Wilson step 2.3. This is for parts 1 through 5. Part 1 is our sound cards quick drill. Remember, I will post up our sound cards. I'll circle one and you're going to say the sound and the name of the letter. Before we get started though, I want to introduce you to some new cards that you're going to see. These are some welds. Remember, they are on the green cards, so they are welds. They're sounds that are together. They sound like they're glued together. All of these welds have 3 letters, so when we tap them, we're going to use 3 fingers glued together. Do you see that, how they are glued together? We have ILD, wild, ild. IND, find, eind. OLT, colt, olt. OLD, cold, old. And OST, post, ost. These again are welds and they are an exception to the closed syllable rule. They are an exception because they do not say the short vowel sounds. These vowels say their names. They say the long vowel sounds, I and O. All right, let's go ahead and get started on our quick drills. I'll give you a moment to say the name and the sound, and then I will say the correct name and sound for you, so you can see if you were correct. U, CK, IND, eind. D, ONK, onk. ILD, ild. CH, ch. L, O. P, p. I, OLD, old. Z, z. UNK, unk. INK, ink. QU, qua. D, d. AM, am. TH. All right, that brings us to part 2, which is our concepts for reading. We're going to review some concepts and then introduce our new one as well. So let's go ahead and look at these. First, I want to review that words have parts that go together called syllables. Remember, a syllable is a part of a word that can be pushed out in one breath. Cat is 1 syllable. Catnip is 2 syllables. Remember, sometimes we'll clap them. Cat, catnip. Remember, sometimes we'll go ahead and put our hand under here so we can feel when our chin goes down, and that indicates a syllable. Cat. We had our chin go down once. Catnip. Our chin went down twice. That's 2 syllables. A closed syllable has 1 vowel only. It only has 1 vowel. As you can see here in this word, the vowel is A. And the vowel must be closed in by at least 1 consonant. So there's 1 consonant closing in that 1 vowel. A closed syllable gives the vowel the short sound. So in this word, A will say ah, the short sound. Remember, there does not have to be a consonant in front of the vowel. It is only important that there is 1 vowel followed by at least 1 consonant. Also remember that there can be more than 1 consonant following that vowel. This is still a closed syllable. Another thing that I want us to remember, another rule that we've learned for reading is our digraphs. Remember, digraphs are two consonants with only one sound. So WH says W, CH says ch, SH says sh, TH says th, and CK says k. Remember, when we tap these, it is one finger for the one sound, even though there are two letters. Here's an example of a word with a digraph in it. We have the SH, which is on one card because it is one sound, and we will give it one tap. Shh. Remember, if we have consonants that are on their own cards beside each other, that is called a blend. That is two or more consonants beside each other, and they keep their own sounds. So in this word, the S and the L are the blend, and they keep their own sounds. If we were to tap that out, it would be S, O. If we compare them, you can see here, there is a dot for each sound. So the first word, let's go ahead and tap it out. Sh, I, p, ship. Good job. Let's go ahead and tap out the second word that has a blend in it. S, O, I, p, slip. Notice again, the SH, one tap, one sound. The SL are two sounds and two taps. They each get their own cards and their own taps. That's a blend. The other rule that we're going to start learning about and discussing is the exception to the closed syllable rule. Now, remember that these 5 cards that we just introduced today, ILD, wild, iled, IND, find, eind, OLT, colt, olt, OLD, cold, old, and OST, post, ost. Remember, these are exceptions because they do not say the short vowel sounds. These welds say the long vowel sounds. The vowels in these welds say their name. So if we were going to mark them up like some of your teachers have you do, remember a closed syllable gets a line under it with a C to show that it's closed. And then we put the breve above the vowel. It's that little smiley face thing above the vowel. If we're going to mark up the exception to the closed syllable, a word that has one of these welds in it, we're going to underline the word, put a C, X out the C, and then we're going to put the line above the vowel that is called a macron. Again, that's just to show that the vowel says its name. It says the long vowel sound. Let's look at an example here. Let's go ahead and tap out this word together. We have ost, post. And I'm sorry about that. Mrs. Klein had a little mistake here. So we're going to go ost, post. Remember, the OST gets 3 fingers all together because they're glued together. The sounds are so close together, we cannot, it's hard to tell them apart. So they're welded or glued together. Let's look at another example, and let's go ahead and tap these words out together. Ready? Old, mold. Good job. Let's go ahead and see if we can do this word together. Jolt, jolt. You guys are doing a great job getting these welds, these exceptions to the closed syllables tapped out and reading these words. Let's look at this word. Eind, bind. Good job. Like I'm going to bind something together. You're going to push it together, keep it together. Let's try this word. Ready? Ild, mild. My words are missing there. My letters are missing for that, from that weld right there. It's supposed to be ILD there. All right. Now we have some review words as well. Let's go ahead and tap these out and see if we can read some of these words. I might pause and ask you a few questions as we're reading some of these words. Let's go ahead and tap this one out. Ready? Drum, drums. Good job. Let me go back to that. Drum, drums. What is our base word here in this word? Yes, drum is our base word here. And the S is a suffix S. And what is that suffix S doing to that word? You are correct. This suffix S is making that word plural. So instead of one drum, now we have multiple drums. Let's go ahead and tap this word out together. Ring. Notice how we again used our 3 fingers glued together for the ing. That is a weld. So we're going to tap it that way. Let's look at our next word. Go ahead and tap this one out for me. It should have sounded like this. Mush. Good job. Remember that SH is a digraph, 2 consonants, 1 sound. It gets 1 finger and 1 tap. Mush. All right. Now we're going to work through some word card drills. These word cards go from substeps 1.1 to 2.3. They're all kind of mixed up. So let's see how we do here. I'll show you a word. I'll give you a few seconds for you to read it, and then I will read it so that way you know if you were correct. I may stop and ask you a few questions about the words that appear on the screen. Scent. How many letters are in this word? Yes, 4. How many sounds are in this word? There are 4 sounds. Good job. Are there any digraphs? No. And what kind of syllable is this word? This is a closed syllable. Good job. Remember, a closed syllable has 1 vowel followed by at least 1 consonant. Bold. Who can tell me how many letters are in this word? There are 4 letters. Good job. Do you see a weld in this word? Yes, OLD is the weld in this word. Who can tell me what kind of syllable this word is? This word is an exception to the closed syllable rule. Remember, OLD is one of the welds that is an exception. The O says its name, so it does not follow the closed syllable rule. It is an exception. Good work. Pam. Why is Pam capitalized here? Yes, because it's a name. Good work. Let's look at our next word. Fibs. What is the base word here? Fib with the suffix S. Fib, fibs. Can anybody use fibs in a sentence for me? My friend fibs to his mom. Yeah, that is a good sentence, and it's using the word correctly. Fibs means to lie. So your friend is lying to his mom. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next word. Well. Does anybody see a digraph in this word? No. Good job. What about a weld? Correct. There is no weld in this word. This word does have a bonus letter. The L is a bonus letter. Remember, it follows the floss rule. If we have one vowel followed by an F, L, S, or Z, most of the time we're going to double that consonant at the end there to help protect that vowel. Dogs. Blind. Who can tell me? Do we have a digraph here? No, we do not. Good job. What about a blend? Do we have a blend here? Yes, the BL is a blend. And do we have a weld in this word? We do. IND is a weld. Remember, it's the exception to the closed syllable, It's an exception, and it is a weld. The I says its name. The BL is a blend, 2 consonants beside each other. that keep their own sounds. So if we were to tap this word, it would be b, o, eind, blind. Good job. Pink. Must. You can use the word must in a sentence for me. You must go eat at the new pizza place in town. I must go with my mother to the store. Good job. All right, next word. Swish. Good job. How many letters are in the word swish? 5 letters. How many sounds are in the word swish? Don't let this trick you. Yes, there are 4 sounds in the word swish. Remember, SH is a digraph, and it's 2 letters that make one sound. The SW is a blend here. They're 2 consonants beside each other, and they keep their own sounds. Chunks. Who can tell me the vowel in this word? U. Good job. Small. What's the weld in this word? A-L-L, all. That is the weld. You are correct. Do you see a blend in this word? Yes, the SM is the blend. And what type of syllable is this word? You are correct. This is the closed syllable. Good job. It has one vowel followed by at least one consonant. It is not one of the exceptions. Good job. Colt. And remember, OLT is one of the exceptions to the closed syllable rule. Chop. Grind. Who can identify a weld in this word? IND, yes, and that's one of the exceptions to the closed syllable rule. Good job. Next one. Rang. Fold. Help. What's the blend in the word help? LP. You got it. Cross. What's the bonus letter in this word? The S, yes. And the CR is a blend here. It's 2 consonants beside each other. They keep their own sounds. Good job. Must. Pan. Wing. Now we're going to go ahead and work on our high frequency words. They're going to show up on the screen and you're going to say the words out loud. Remember, high frequency words are words that do not follow the rules of the English language. They do not follow the proper spelling or reading rules. So we're going to have to just try to memorize some of them, okay? Let's go ahead and see what we have. From. Cost. Half. Salt. Talk. Push. His. Was. Both. Has. Salt. Comb. Chalk. Want. Lost. Wind. Want. Good work. I like how you guys all followed along. I could hear most of you. You did a great job. Let's go ahead and look at part 4. Part 4 is our word list reading. I'm going to show you a list of words. I will highlight one in red. I'll give you a few seconds and I want you to read the word that's highlighted. I may stop and ask a few questions as well. Let's go ahead and get started here. Sold. Colt. What syllable type is this word? This is an exception to the closed syllable because it has the OLT, and that is one of the exceptions to the closed syllable. Yes, it is a weld. Good job. All right, let's keep going. Rind. Wild. Mild. Scold. What do you guys notice about all of our words so far? Yes, all of them are using the welds that we've just learned about in this lesson, and they are the exception to the closed syllable rule. Good work. Let's keep going. Find. Fold. Bolt. Volt. Bolt. Jolt. Mold. Post. And bind. Very nice. I want to know, do you guys see any words up there that are on the screen that have a blend? Do you see any words that have a blend? Yes, the word scold has a blend. The S and the C are a blend. They are two or more consonants beside each other that keep their own sounds. Now, are there any words up here that you guys don't know what they are? Can you go ahead and tell me if you don't know what one of the words are? Dolt. Yes, that's one that I thought you guys might say. And dolt is, if you look that up, it means a stupid person. So it's really not a very nice word. Go ahead. Are there anything else up here that you don't know? Rind. Okay, like a rind of a watermelon rind. That's the outside green part of it. Yeah. All right. The next section that we're going to do is our sentence reading. Now remember, we want to read nice and fluently. We want to make sure that we're reading it in our head first, making sure that it sounds okay. We do not want to sound robotic. And then we're going to use our fingers to scoop our sentences and phrase them correctly. Our goal is to sound how we should talk when we read. We want our audience to be interested and for us to sound interesting when we're reading. Let's go ahead and look at the sentences. Here's sentence number 1. Read it a few times in your head and then read it out loud. And then I will read it so that you can see how it should sound. You guys sound great. Here's how it should sound. The child was lost in the shop. Go ahead and read it how I read it. The child was lost in the shop. I put the red lines there so you can see where we should be scooping our phrasing. Here's sentence number 2. Go ahead and read sentence number 2 to yourself a few times and then read it out loud. Here's how sentence number 2 should sound. Bob did not find the small colt. Go ahead and read sentence number 2 like I read it. Bob did not find the small colt. Good work. Let's go ahead and look at sentence number 3. Read sentence number 3 in your head a few times and then read it out loud. Here's how sentence number 3 should sound. Jim was kind to the old man. Read sentence number 3 like I just read it. Jim was kind to the old man. Good work, everyone. Let's look at sentence number 4. Go ahead and read sentence number 4 in your head a few times and then read it out loud. Here's how sentence number 4 should sound. Fred went to get a wild hog. Read sentence number 4 like I just read it. Fred went to get a wild hog. Sounds great. Let's look at sentence number 5. Go ahead and read sentence number 5 to yourself a few times and then read it out loud. Here's how sentence number 5 should sound. The dog sat on his hind legs to beg. I wonder what he's begging for. He's probably begging for a treat or maybe one of his toys or a bone. My dog at home really likes to beg for a treat. He doesn't get any human food, so occasionally we'll get him like little dog treats, and when we get those out, he really likes to beg for those. All right, let's look at sentence number 6. Go ahead and read sentence number 6 in your head a few times and then read it out loud. Here's how sentence number 6 should sound. The chimp did not mind the cold. Go ahead and read sentence number 6 just like I read it. The chimp did not mind the cold. Sounds awesome. Let's look at sentence number 7. Go ahead and read sentence number 7 a few times in your head and then read it out loud. Somebody just got confused, and I like that you asked for help. Yes, the first word in this sentence, remember, it has the IND, so we think it's going to follow the exception to the closed syllable weld rule, where I is going to say its name. So then in case this word would be wind. Now remember, we also had a sight word, W-I-N-D, a high frequency word, and that word was wind. It was a high frequency word because it did not follow the rule of IND. So you have to decide here, which one is it? Well, when you read the rest of the sentence, the top and it will spin, we know that the word should be wind. You're not going to say wind the top and it will spin. No, you're going to say wind the top and it will spin. That's why it's important that we're kind of looking ahead sometimes when we're reading, so that way we can see and we can determine what some of those words are that are tricky. Here's sentence number 8. Go ahead and read sentence number 8 to yourself a few times and then read it out loud. Here's sentence number 8. Do not drop the trash in the wild wind. And this one does end with wind, not wind. This is the high frequency word, wind. Do not drop the trash in the wild wind. Good work. Again, we need to look at our context clues in our sentences to understand which word is which. Here's sentence number 9. Go ahead and read sentence number 9 to yourself a few times and then read it out loud. Here's how sentence number 9 should sound. The bus spun and hit the post with a jolt. Let's read sentence number 9 together. The bus spun and hit the post with a jolt. Good work. Let's look at sentence number 10. Again, read sentence number 10 in your head a few times and then read it out loud. And here's how sentence number 10 should sound. Mold was on the old crab buns. That sentence makes me laugh. I'm not sure why. Again, that sentence is, mold was on the old crab buns. All right, you guys did a great job with your lesson today. I look forward to seeing you for parts 6 through 8. I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.